big old cock is the gift every one of us chickens got. So raise your spurs, spurs, spurs. You ain't just a bird, bird, bird. You're a top of the coop, star of the show. You're a rooster who's born to crow. You're a top of the coop, star of the show. You're a rooster who's born to crow. Born to crow. Yeah, you know. You gotta crow. Like Big George in 1980. Mike Holt, 84. Sterling Sharp. Steve Tannehill. Brandon Bennett. Old Eric Kimry to Jamel Kelly. Ryan Brewer. Marcus. Connor. Alshon. Stefan. Jadavion. Stevie G. Yeah, they were all born to crow. And so were you.
All right, Michael Haney's Born to Crow. We are joined now by former Gamecock offensive lineman Sadarius Hutcherson. Hutch,
my man, right there.
How you doing?
Good.
Sadarius, how you doing, man? Welcome in to Inside the Gamecocks show, Born to Crow series. Appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir.
I guess first things first, man. How's Atlanta so far? And working for Sean down at Georgia State. What position do they have you working with? What have you been doing so far?
Man, Atlanta's great, man. Some of my family's down here and stuff. Well, can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
hear you
sir.
great.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, yeah, I got family down here and stuff. So everything is going well. I'm not too far from home. I'm only like a few hours away from Nashville and stuff like that. So, so far working with Coach Elliott has been great. He's taking care of me, trying to mold me to transition from being a player to a coach. And that's kind of was like the hard part, is kind of like accepting that type of role. Currently they got me as the graduate assistant offensive line working under Coach John Holt. And I'm learning under him and stuff. So I kind of know how this program rolls around, because obviously Coach Elliott was my offensive line coach my freshman year. So everything has been so much, better. It's been pretty decent for me as far as just molding to the program, being around the guys, like the football players and stuff. It's been awesome. They all, respect me from a cultural standpoint. They listen very well. They're very disciplined, and they've been really. It's been really an honor to coach these guys.
Sometimes when coaches and players get to the end of their coaching career, they say they miss being part of a team.
Mhm.
Did you miss being part of a team, and what was it feel like being a part of a team again?
Honestly, I try my best to feel like I'm still a part of the team. So I still work out like I still play. So I
Sure.
do everything I can to make sure I'm still feeling like I'm playing still. Sometimes I'll walk in the locker room and talk to some of the offensive linemen, just have a conversation with them to, kind of, feel like, the comfortability level as far as like the relationships and stuff, just make me feel comfortable again. And honestly, I would say the more that I learn about this whole transitioning thing, it's really not too much different. The only thing you're doing is not putting the helmet on. And I think that will slowly go away from me, because I'm pretty sure when these Saturdays starts to, tighten up, where these guys will start playing, it's going to start, hitting me a little bit harder, seeing these guys put the pads on, knowing that I can still do it. But I think as far as me, this is one of my ways of giving back. Using some of my knowledge along with Coach Holtz, especially, just kind of making these guys better as a player, and most important of all is as a person. So I'm kind of like their big brother right now, as far as what they need and what kind of tidbits that they need to help them be better.
So take us back to like how you got to kick. It's an interesting story. So I remember you were DN, Jackson area of Tennessee, sort of that in between Jackson and Nashville a little bit. I think you picked Carolina over Memphis. You're part of Will Muschamp's first recruiting class. And then next thing you know, you hear in practice that Sadarius Hutcherson's up to 300 pounds and killing it. And away you went. Tell me a little bit about kind of how that recruiting process went back then, and the relationship Coach Elliott built with you, and coming in the first year of the Muschamp era.
So I grew up watching college football, but I never really thought about playing it. So it was one day my head coach at my high school, Coach Eric Swinson, he was like, "Do you ever want to play college football one day?" And I said, "Yeah," but I never thought about it. And then my junior year, he started taking me to camps. And then I started to realize, I said, okay, I got this. So my senior year, literally how all this started, I didn't have no type of exposure or anything. All I did was went to camps. I was in, I think I was in like a history class. Coach Duncan, that was his name, Coach Duncan. He was teaching us a class in there. Next thing you know, a guy from Louisville walked in, and so everybody's looking like, what's going on? He said, "Is Sadarius Hutcherson here?" And I raised my hand, I'm right here. And then everybody in the classroom was like, ooh. So everybody thought, like, some people thought I was in trouble, and then some people thought, it was football reasons. So I walked with them outside of the classroom, and they came and visited me at my school, and they ended up offering me. And that was actually I think he was a running backs coach at the time. I still have his number. And next thing you know, Memphis rolled in, and then North Carolina State rolled in, and then I started getting phone calls from different schools. And to be quite real, Ohio State was actually my dream team. That was actually the team I actually grew up loving. I got everything Ohio State until obviously I changed over to South Carolina. And they all, schools like that with that high type of caliber, they all said pretty much I was too small. So at that time, I was like 220 pounds, just soaking wet. So I was already strong and stuff like that. I could play. I just wasn't physically ready. So this when Coach Elliott came along, he watched my film and he saw a hidden gem in me. And I remember they came to visit my school because my school has an ag farm. And I was in the ag farm at the time. I knew they were coming. I knew they were coming. It was I know it was Muschamp. I know Coach Elliott came. Coach B Mac was there. Like it was a few coaches was there, and they all called me at the ag farm because they was looking for me. So it was our school in the front, and the ag farm was way in the back where the practice field is at. So they couldn't find me. So they all had to take a little trip around the school to go to the ag farm, and then that's when they found me. And so it was really Coach Elliott that kind of took a chance. And once I realized that offer, I didn't really waste any time. I'm just going ahead and commit because you don't play with stuff like that. So I ended up committing. And Coach Elliott, he was like, "Are you sure you haven't even came visited yet?" I said, "No, I'm sure." He said, "All I need to do is I just need y'all to guide me the right way, and I'll do everything y'all ask me to do. If I need to gain weight, so be it. I'll do it." And then I ended up keeping that promise literally that year of. And by the time we got to the Birmingham Bowl, my redshirt freshman year, I weighed in at 299. And I didn't realize my weight then because I don't think we weighed in anytime soon prior to that. So I ended up weighing in. I said 299. I said, okay, well, I'm ready now. So after that season, I ended up gaining weight, turning into more muscle. I started at 315. And then from that point on, I was a starter from that point on until the end of my senior season.
What was like playing with Jake Bentley? He's a guy that had, one of those. He took some criticism. That 2017 year, though, you guys were 9-4, and then the next year had some nice wins at Ole Miss and against Tennessee. What was it like playing with Jake and as a quarterback and all that good stuff? I think that's one thing not a lot of people talk about these days is Jake and sort of him being kind of the field general of those first few teams.
Yeah, honestly, playing with Jake was awesome. He was one of those guys that can deal with a lot of adversity and still overcome a lot of situations. I remember, I think it was we played A&M. It was one of those teams, and obviously he was getting booed. And seeing his response and his reaction to everything that was going on, he's still fighting, because a lot of times, man, in this generation now, you hear stuff like that, people will shrink and fold. And he stood on his ground and kept fighting, and it ended up giving us a chance to win the game. So playing with him was awesome. You can really never tell he was dealing with a lot, because he know how to turn it on and turn it off. He was one of those guys where if he had personal stuff going on at the house, as soon as he entered the building into our facility, he'll turn it off. So he knows how to balance and stuff like that. And that's one of the great ways of why he was a great leader for us, because he knew how to turn it on and turn it off. And he was one of those guys you can always count on. He answers the phone every time. He always responds. He responds as quick as possible. So he was those guys that you can just honestly depend on. And he's just that guy where, like, you wish things could have just obviously worked out a lot better. Right now he's having a great time. He just got married not too long ago. So honestly and truly, like, he was just one of those friends where I could call now and he'll still answer the phone. So despite of what all he has been through, it's just been awesome, and it's been an honor to have him as a teammate.
Jake, of course, is assistant at North Alabama right now. I think he's quarterback's coach over there, I think. But he's at North Alabama, starting his coaching career like his old man and his brother. So he'll be pretty good. All right, so a lot of people ask this because before you got to Carolina in 2009, Sean Elliott replaced Eric Wolford.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Sean left to go take the Georgia State job, Eric Wolford replaced Sean Elliott. Compare playing for those two guys. Is there? I know it's all they both kind of like zone, zone blocking.
Yeah.
But just kind of for those that aren't like us, that aren't like X's and O's guys, explain kind of the difference, or if there is any.
I will tell you this right now: when it comes down to the intensity of coaching, none of those guys are different. They are the exact same. As far as the intensity in practice, seriously, like, it's been so many days where, like, it's been so hard for me, and they will be on me so much to a point where they will try to see how far I can go. But I would never fold, though. But I know one thing about those two: they will get the best out of you. And that's the great thing I love about both of them. They literally got the best out of me. And and the good thing about them, they're kind of like fathers to me. They will help you in any situation, because they know football is so demanding, and they know that that we all deal with things. And I can literally call them and ask them what I need to do as far as like life and period, and they will always lead me the right direction. I still talk with Coach Eric Wolford now to this day. He's currently at Alabama now, but yeah, I still talk to him today, and we still have conversations and stuff like that. And he always check on me, see what's going on in my life and stuff like that. So we always have that type of brotherhood or fatherhood, whatever you call it, in my eyes and stuff like that. So I think with those two, without them, I probably wouldn't be as far as where I am today.
How about Will Muschamp? What kind of relationship did you have with Coach Muschamp? You're one of the guys that was just kind of basically there for the whole time.
Oh man, I love Muschamp. Muschamp was as advertised. He was intense, but the one thing about him, he would help you if you help him. So what I mean by that is, if you go out on the field and give it your all, he's gonna give his all as far as helping you as far as life. Like, all those three, Coach Elliott, Coach Muschamp, and Coach Wolford, they all got that one thing in common. They all got that fatherhood in them, where that they're not just viewed as a coach to me. I can call on them for literally anything, as far as like type of jobs that I need to get or anything that I need to be successful in life. They all have that same trait, where that I can count on those three in anything. And I think that's a great asset as a head coach, offensive line coach, whatever. I think that's a great asset to have because as a player, you will want to feel comfortable coming to your coach as far as like if you going through things, if you need help with anything. I think they're great coaches to call on.
So Craig in our chat box, he wants to know what your max squat was. So max squat.
So it was my junior year, I believe. This is when Corey Miller, our former strength coach, was down there, and we had Coach Jeff Dillman. I know for a fact that my max squat was 700, only because me and Donnell was partners every single day. So we were partners. So we was literally doing the exact same weight on squat. And when it come max day, they told us not to do it because there was really no reason to put all that weight on you. So they knew that we could squat 700 because we did 600 prior to that, and it was easy. So we got the max day thing that we were going to max out that day, and we ended up didn't do it. And after we got done maxing, we went to go paintballing. So that's how I remember. So my max is 700, but that was like my junior year. So I'm pretty sure it's a lot more now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jesus.
Well, Sadarius, man, this has been a pleasure. I think if you give coaching some time, man, you'd be pretty good at it. I think you got the personality and certainly the track record and a great story to tell. So, look, we're big Georgia State fans around here. We always pull for Coach Elliott, and certainly wish you guys the best this year. It's a big year. The Sun Belt's a tough league these days.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Yeah, a lot of good teams. So, but anyway, man, we certainly appreciate you coming on and really wish you the best. And I'll holler at you soon, man. And by the way, check your phone. I sent you a little message. So
okay, appreciate
we'll see you soon, man. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sadarius Hutcherson.
All right.